Alan Kingsman's life had always been a carefully curated illusion. Every corner of his penthouse screamed perfection, gleaming marble floors, minimalist decor that seemed to float in the sunlight, and the faint hum of ambient music that made the silence almost deafening. From the outside, everything looked flawless, like a life painted in high-definition perfection. But beneath the polished surfaces, cracks were beginning to show, cracks he had ignored for far too long. That morning, as the first rays of sun filtered through the floor-to-ceiling windows, something felt different. The usual comfort, the soft rhythm of his mornings, was missing. He called for Amber, his girlfriend, expecting her familiar laugh or cheerful reply. But there was nothing, just a hollow echo bouncing back at him. Unease curled around his chest like a cold hand. He walked cautiously toward the living room, half expecting to find Amber busy with her morning routine. Instead, he froze. She wasn't there. In her place stood Bella, his assistant, the one he had barely noticed despite her constant presence. She had always been in the background, a quiet observer, managing schedules, running errands, almost invisible. But now she was front and center, and something about her gaze made his stomach twist. Her expression was calm, unnervingly so, yet her eyes carried a chilling confidence. You need to know something, Bella said, her voice steady, almost casual, yet carrying the weight of a threat. Amber. She's out of your life. Alan blinked, trying to process the words. What? What are you saying? He managed, his voice barely above a whisper. Bella stepped closer, as if proximity alone could reinforce her claim. I handled it, she said. Every little detail. She won't be coming back. You're free now. The words struck him like a blow. His heart raced, a mix of disbelief and rising panic. This wasn't some trivial misunderstanding. This was a deliberate act, a silent invasion into the most intimate part of his life. And the woman standing before him, the one he trusted, had orchestrated it. Alan's mind spun. How? Why? All the tiny things he had dismissed her lingering in the kitchen. The quiet presence he had never questioned suddenly took on a sinister meaning. Bella's calm demeanor was suffocating, as if she had rehearsed this moment 1,000 times. You can't do this, he said, voice shaking. You don't have the right. Bella tilted her head slightly, almost amused. I've done it. She's gone. And now it's just us. Alan felt the room shrink around him, the walls closing in as he tried to find some anchor, some shred of logic. He couldn't speak. His mind reeled. Images of Amber's laughter, her warmth, her presence flashing before him, taunting him. And just like that, Bella turned and walked away, leaving him rooted to the spot, paralyzed. Drowning in the sudden void of absence and betrayal, hours passed or maybe minutes. Time had lost meaning. And then the sound of the front door opening shattered his frozen stupor. Amber. Alan's chest tightened, hope and fear warring within him. He rushed forward, desperate to explain, to convince her that she had misunderstood, that he had never, could never, betray her. But when he saw her, all words died. Amber's eyes, red-rimmed and swollen, told the story no explanation could undo. She was trembling, flushed, and her gaze was piercing. You're cheating on me, she said, and the words landed like knives. Syllable cut deeper than he could have imagined. Alan tried to protest, to assure her, to reach across the chasm Bella had created. Amber, no, listen, please. You don't understand. I never, but Amber wasn't listening. Her heart, her trust, had already been fractured by someone who had used lies as a weapon. Alan reached out, but she recoiled, a silent declaration that distance now defined their connection. And then, without another word, she walked away. Alan fell to his knees on the marble floor, calling her name in a voice raw with anguish, his chest heaving as though he were physically trying to pull her back. The emptiness around him was deafening. The apartment that once symbolized achievement, success, and love now felt like a mausoleum, cold and lifeless. He didn't notice when Bella reappeared. She watched him with an expression that was almost sympathetic, but in truth there was triumph hidden beneath the surface. Alan, broken and desperate, handed her a small velvet box, the last tangible piece of proof of his love for Amber. Take this to her, he pleaded. It's everything I have. She needs to know. She needs to understand. Bella accepted it with a soft smile, one that didn't reach her eyes. I'll handle it, she said, and she did. When Amber received the box, Bella did more than deliver it. She twisted the story. She told Amber that Alan didn't love her, that he considered her an inconvenience, a fleeting distraction. She painted herself as the loyal, caring confidant, the only one who truly understood him. Amber, exhausted and vulnerable, let go of the last threads of hope she had clung to, allowing herself to be consumed by the narrative Bella had spun. Alan, meanwhile, waited in anguish, believing that the gesture might repair the damage. But Bella returned to him with the lie firmly in place. Amber didn't want to see him. She was gone. Alan's heart shattered all over again, and in his grief, he allowed Bella's presence to comfort him. He didn't notice that the warmth he felt was not love, but manipulation. He didn't see the emptiness, the hollowness, that had replaced the man Amber loved. Months passed. The apartment remained luxurious, pristine, and silent. Alan existed, but he no longer lived. Bella had what she thought she wanted, a man who appeared hers, but each day felt heavier. The vibrant, charming man she desired had vanished. Her victory was hollow. Attempts to spark joy in him were met with muted responses. Attempts to recreate the love Amber and Alan had shared were futile. She began to understand, slowly and painfully, that control cannot substitute for love. One evening, she insisted on a dinner, hoping to ignite something, anything. But fate has a way of rewriting its own script. Alan smelled a scent, faint yet familiar. A memory stirred, pulling him back from the void. And then he heard it, a voice he had loved, known, trusted, Amber. At the entrance, Amber appeared. Quiet, still carrying the necklace he had given her, her presence a living reminder of what he had lost. Alan's heart surged. Nothing could have prepared Bella for the scene. Alan, alive again in spirit and emotion, drawn irrevocably to the woman she had tried to erase. Alan approached Amber slowly, each step careful, reverent, as if even breathing too loudly could shatter the fragile moment. Amber's eyes met his, tears welling instantly. In that instant, everything became clear. The love she had tried to destroy was dormant, not dead. Lies, manipulation, and schemes could never erase what was real. Reunited, Alan and Amber faced the truth. Bella had tried to control them, but love, genuine authentic love, cannot be forced or fabricated. Bella faded into memory, a lesson in obsession and the futility of manipulation. Alan and Amber rebuilt their connection, stronger for having endured the tests thrown at them. Trust, resilience, and authenticity now defined their relationship. Even Bella, in isolation, learned the cost of her ambition. She had pursued control and possession over someone else's happiness and ended up with emptiness. Love cannot be stolen, cannot be imposed. An obsession, no matter how intense, is powerless against what is real. Alan and Amber thrived, their love a testament to endurance, truth, and the inevitability of fate. Every shared laugh, every quiet conversation, every small gesture became precious. And as the sun set over their penthouse, it wasn't wealth, luxury, or appearances that mattered. It was love, earned, nurtured, and fought for, resilient against the storms life threw their way.